Hi ladies, and welcome to today's Facebook Live. We're talking today about delegation and specifically why can't you or why won't you delegate? And this has come up a few times, so a lot of people have asked questions about this. We do have some questions that have been posed already, so I'll make sure that I answer them on the call. Hi Sarah, it's very nice to see you on the call. And we're going to be talking about what causes this blockage, if you like. But also I'm going to give you some solutions and some ideas as to how you could potentially improve things if this is one of the things that is getting you down and stopping you from progressing. So what I'd love you to do is to pop down in the comments box the number one reason as to why you don't want to delegate. What is it you don't want to delegate? Why is it? What is it that's stopping you from doing that? Hi Cindy, thank you for joining the group. It's lovely to see you too. So what is delegation? Delegation really is around understanding what your high value tasks are and your low value tasks are, and knowing what the difference is between the two so that you can focus more of your energy on those high value tasks. The high value task is really where you get the most return on your time. So here's an analogy to help you understand this a little bit more effectively. So say for example you have a sales rep, okay? And the sales rep takes 10 minutes to close the sale. But after the sale, she's then got 30 minutes of extra admin time where she's got to actually document that sale. So she's doing her 10-minute of sale, high value task, and then she's doing 30 minutes of the low value task, the admin sort of side of things. Now, I'm sure you'll agree, but wouldn't it make much more sense for that sales rep to be actually doing 4 sales in the time that it would take her to do the one with the 30 minutes of admin? Of course it would. The sale is her high value, all the admin is the low value sort of tasks. So it would make much more sense for her to delegate that stuff out so she doesn't have to do it. And the chances are she'll be giving that work to somebody who really values doing that kind of work and enjoys doing that kind of work. So the first question to ask yourself here is, what are your high value tasks? Hi Laura, it's really nice to see you on the call. What are your high value tasks? The high value tasks might be things like developing other people. They might be things like developing strategy or planning. Anything that's sort of like an important task that actually is very, very low urgency, but so important. It's really important to the business. Lovely to see you there. Cindy's on there on the call, and Laura and Sarah. Hi. Hi everybody, lovely to see you on the call. Do post your comments. If you have any comments or questions, do post them during the live. You can just tap them into the comments box below. So have a think about what your high value tasks are. What are your kind of equivalent of the sales rep with her sales? What are your high value tasks? It's really important to understand what they are, where you and only you really can be doing the task and doing it really well. Normally when people don't want to delegate, it's normally because they feel they're going to lose something. They're going to lose something. Normally it's to do with time. They're going to lose some sort of time, money perhaps, or it could be some sense of control. And I think control is the number one reason why a lot of people struggle with delegation. I know that Irene posted a comment to me in the week about the control side of things and realizing that it's kind of that sort of level of like, it needs to be done a particular way before you can be sure you can give that to somebody else. So we're going to look at some of those barriers right now. Thanks to Irene for posting that. Hi Corenza, lovely to see you in the group and joining the group. So let's talk about what the four blockers, if you like, the 4 barriers. So I'm going to draw a lovely circle here for you, and I'm going to divide it into 4 beautifully equally divided segments there. So what's our number 1 blocker, our number 1 reason? It's control. Surprise, surprise, it's control. So, what are we trying to control when we have this control issue? And lots of us have a control thing. I certainly have a bit of a control value in me. I value it highly. It's something that keeps me on top of things and keeps me, making things good and the outcome being good. But there are obviously downsides to that when it comes to delegation. So what are we trying to achieve with control? We're trying to control that the outcome will be as good as the outcome that we could have generated by ourselves. Of of course, there's a sort of a lacking in faith of the other person being able to deliver to your standard. The sad thing with that is, you know, for that person to try and do that task, they may make a mistake, and then there's a learning from that mistake. So I think if you can reframe that, and you're saying to yourself, but they're going to make a mistake, it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be right. Look at it as a learning. How can you learn from it? How can they learn from it? And it will take the edge off that thing. And obviously you can communicate how you need something to be delivered to the level that you want to have it finished at. And the question also here is, if you're delegating and you've got a control barrier, blocker going on, then it could just be that, you know, there's a trust issue there with that person that you want to delegate to. So how can you improve those levels of trust? How can you bolster those feelings of trust with those people? The second common issue is this idea that you're lacking faith in those people to, you know, deliver the outcome that you want. And maybe you're lacking faith in yourself and your ability to actually teach the learning to those people. So maybe that's something that's blocking you. Maybe that's one of your barriers. It could be that you're valuing the work itself over the result of achieving the work. So let me explain that one, because that's a funny one, but it's a really interesting one. So the idea that you value doing the work more highly than the actual result of getting the work. It's an interesting one. Some people sort of say that I have to do the work. I actually get some worth, some sense of worth and some value from doing the work, but that's actually because you're enjoying doing the work over looking at the result. And if you're looking to delegate tasks, the key to delegating tasks is to focus all your energies on getting the result faster, quicker, stronger, cheaper, whatever it might be. But it's about the result at the end of the day. It's never really about the task. Nobody gets really excited about doing the task. Everybody gets excited about getting the result. So start thinking about reframing how you're looking at this task. Think about the result itself rather than the actual work. What are we trying to achieve here? How can we do that faster, better, stronger, quicker, cheaper? By doing it with a team, by delegating the work. Think about the result. The result is what's going to give you the recognition and get you the recognition. It's not the work itself. It's never the work itself. Okay, so the fourth one that I want to share today is time. Maybe you're saying you don't have time to sit down and teach somebody all that needs to happen for this task. Maybe you're saying it's going to take too much time to actually do all this teaching. It's completely up to you if that's what your thing is, but just own that that is your blocker. That's the blocker to your success. Okay, so what are we going to do about this now? We're clear on what our blocker is, but we're not clear on how to fix the problem. So let's look about it. Let's talk about that right now. What I'd love you to do is I'd love you to get a piece of paper, and I'd love you to literally list out all of the tasks that you have going on. Either tasks in your personal life, your professional life, it doesn't really matter, but everything that you're managing, everything you're juggling, everything you're multitasking at right now, okay? Get 3 different marker pens, maybe a pink, a green, a yellow, it doesn't really matter. And I'd love you to highlight the high value tasks on that list. The things that only you can do. You're the sales rep, you're doing that high-end stuff that's going to deliver the biggest result. That's your number one thing to highlight. What are the things only I can do on that list? Now you've got your list of the things that only you can do on that whole list of stuff. Arguably, the rest you can either dump or delegate. So if that's what you do, you literally go through the list. You highlight which ones can I do and me alone. The next thing you do is you decide which of the things on there actually have been on there for absolutely ages and I just haven't got around to doing. They're really low interest, really low value, low importance, low urgency. They probably don't need to be done at all. So let's just dump them off the list. Just get them off the list and stop thinking about them. Stop worrying and procrastinating about them. Just get them off, okay? So you've got your list of what you can do, maybe with your green highlighter. You've got the list of stuff you're going to dump and just get rid of off the list with your orange highlighter. And then the last highlighter pen is all the stuff that you can delegate out. Amazing. So you've got your do, your dump, and your delegate list from your master list. Do is the high value stuff only you can do. Dump is the stuff you just don't need to do, nobody needs to do, and delegate is the stuff you're going to delegate out. And then ask yourself, what is my blocker with the delegation? What am I telling myself that I can't do this delegation thing? What is it that's really stopping me? And ask yourself, what's the cost of that? Am I really focusing on the result? Am I focusing on the work itself? Remember, nobody cares about the work itself. People care about the results. And you should too, quite honestly. So once you've got your list, then decide, who am I going to delegate this stuff to? Who can do this to the best of their ability? Who would love doing this, actually? Who would really enjoy this? So that's your activity for today as a result of looking at why can't you or why won't you delegate. If you have any questions at all, please do just post them at the bottom of the screen there in the comments box. Otherwise, I will see you very soon. Thanks so much, ladies. I love talking to you, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye.